Hi there. We are on day 207 of our Through the New Testament in 1 year. And we're just about done with Acts. Okay, we got 27 and one more chapter. Probably 2 or 3 days we'll be done with Acts and the history of the apostles. Okay, this whole story is the history of the apostles. All the rest of it is just letters. So let's get half of Acts 27 today. Sailing for Rome. When it was decided that they were to set sail to Italy, they handed over Paul and some other prisoners to a centurion named Julius of the imperial regiment. So when he had boarded a ship of, Andromitium, we put to sea. Intending to sail to ports along the coast of Asia, Aristarchus in Macedonia, Aristarchus, a Macedonian of Thessalonica, was with us. Right. The next day we put in Sidon, and Julius treated Paul kindly and allowed him to go to his friends to receive their care. When we put out to sea from there, we sailed along the northern coast of Cyprus because the winds were against us. After sailing through the open sea of Cilicia and Pamphylia, we reached Myra and Lycia. There the centurion found an Alexandrian ship sailing for Italy and put us on board. Sailing slowly for many days, we came with difficulty as far as Cnidus. Then the wind did not allow us to approach it. We sailed along the south side off Crete off Salmon. With yet more difficulty, we sailed along the coast and came to a place called Fair Havens near the city of Lasea. Paul's advice ignored. By now much time had passed and the voyage was already dangerous. Since the fast was already over, Paul gave his advice and told them, "Men, I can see that this voyage is headed towards damage and heavy loss, not only of the cargo and of the ship, but also our lives." But the centurion paid attention to the captain and the owner of the ship rather than to what Paul had said. Since the harbor was unsuitable to winter in, the majority decided to set sail from there, hoping somehow to reach Phoenix, a harbor in Crete open to the southwest and northwest, and winter there. Storm-tossed ship. When a gentle south wind sprang up, they thought they had achieved their purpose. They weighed anchor and sailed along the shore of Crete. But not long afterward, a fierce wind called a nor'easter, they called him there, right? Rushed down from the island. Since the ship was caught and unable to head into the wind, we gave way to it and were driven along. After running under the shelter of a little island called Cauda, we were barely able to get control of the skiff. After hoisting it up, they used ropes and tackle and girded the ship. Then, fearing they would run aground in Syrtis, they lowered the drift anchor, and in this way were driven along. Because we were being severely battered by the storm, they began to jettison the cargo. The next day, on the third day, they threw the ship's gear overboard with their own hands. Wow. For many days, neither sun nor stars appeared, and the severe storm kept raging. Finally, all hope that would be saved was disappearing. Since many were going without food, Paul stood up among them and said, "You men should have followed my advice and not to sail from Crete and sustain this damage and loss. Now I urge you to take courage, because there will be no loss of any of your lives, but only of the ship. For this night, an angel of the God I belong to and serve stood by me and said, 'Don't be afraid, Paul. You must stand before Caesar. And look, God has graciously given you all those who are sailing with you. Therefore take courage, men, because I believe God that it will be just the way it was told me. However, we must run aground on a certain island.'" Okay. That's kind of a cliffhanger, isn't it? So, and we know this is Act 27, right? And then the ship's going to wreck, and then I think this is where Paul gets bitten by a snake, and he just shakes it off, and it's a deadly snake that kills people. So, and that makes them look at him in a different light. But that's tomorrow. So, there you go. It's getting exciting, okay? And the angel told him, "You must stand before Caesar." So I guess he made the right choice. So there you go. That's day 207. All right. We're getting there. All right. We just have tomorrow, and then are they going to split the rest of it? No. Tomorrow, and then Monday, we will finish it with Acts 28. The last book will be Monday, and then we will start the letters. So there you go. Catch up on any you may have missed. It's getting exciting now. And we'll keep doing this. See you again tomorrow.